Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this ANZSOG Annual Conference. My name's Gary Banks. I'm the Dean and CEO of ANZSOG. As is customary, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Ngunnawal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today, and pay my respect to their elders past and present. Well, this is the second annual conference since I joined ANZSOG, and it's the ninth in the series of ANZSOG conferences. There are many conferences, as you'd well appreciate, going on about the business of government and public policy and so on. It's a pretty crowded arena. But ANZSOG's focus is not just on the key issues for government and public policy, but also what all that means for public servants in particular, for you or for many of you. The conferences complement ANZSOG's core activities in executive education for public servants, research, and increasingly ANZSOG's role in providing forums for frank discussion on issues that we have in common, whether we're from the Commonwealth Government, state and territory governments, or the New Zealand Government. The fiscally constrained legacy of the global financial crisis has provided the setting for the two conferences that I've been able to participate in. Last year's theme was really doing more with less, productivity, which I found a congenial theme for my first. Whereas this year we're picking up on where that conference left off, really, on issues to do with the what as well as the how of government. And again, against the backdrop of fiscal and other challenges facing governments, it'll look at what governments need to do to best support the ongoing dual imperative for economic growth and societal participation in the growth dividend. The steady expansion of government over the past century has been predicated on it performing economic and social roles that the private sector or charities could not adequately discharge. But the rise in living standards and the increasing sophistication and reach of the private and third sectors have arguably not been reflected sufficiently in government's own evolution. The pressure on government budgets is prompting a new questioning of what role government really needs to play in the 21st century. Well, following recent changes of government in Australia and New Zealand, we're seeing this reflected in some significant changes in policy direction. Unsurprisingly, this hasn't been without contention or some political opposition, and how that plays out is clearly going to be very important, not just for the public sector, but for our economies and societies. Because while the means by which governments are repositioning themselves and responding to the pressures may be disputed, the broad policy goals, a more prosperous, fair and harmonious society, are not. And as noted in the background paper, the concept of prosperity must account for both the level and the distribution of wealth. Both are important. But the reality is that a government cannot redistribute what its economy does not produce. Prosperous societies need productive economies. Both the wealth creation and the income distribution sides must be attended to in seeking to grow national prosperity. And the rising structural deficits, I think, are a sign that we've got this out of kilter. So the conference provides a unique and timely opportunity to explore the issues in restoring balance beyond consolidation of government finances to the structure of government itself. The conference is framed by commentary from the two most senior economic ministers of Australia and New Zealand, as well as other opinion leaders. And it will look at the challenges and opportunities that demand changes in social welfare, healthcare, disability and other services, and it'll consider how the better utilisation of the private and not-for-profit sectors, as well as better allocation and coordination of responsibilities across jurisdictions, can play their part. It will also explore government's role as investor in driving prosperity, investor in education and infrastructure and industry assistance, and how the community can get a better return on that. And my predecessor at the Productivity Commission, Bill Scales, has just put out a report on the process behind the National Broadband Network, which is a timely backdrop to the session we've got on infrastructure tomorrow. And picking up on a key theme in the Prime Minister's Paterson oration last night, which Senator Brandis presented on the Prime Minister's behalf, it will look at what further progress can be made in achieving regulation that meets legitimate goals in cost-effective ways. And finally, returning to where I started, the conference will conclude with plenary sessions on what all this means for you and what we can learn from past episodes of reform. As you will have seen, ANZSOG has once again assembled a cast of world-leading thinkers and practitioners from Australia, from New Zealand and from overseas, and including many women as well as men. I learnt my lesson from the last conference in that respect. We are particularly fortunate to be able to commence the conference by hearing from Australia's Treasurer, Joe Hockey, and New Zealand's Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, Bill English. Both are clearly very well placed to set the scene and provide some perspectives on the current circumstances of the two countries as they see them and their visions for the future and some of the implications for public servants.